What's up, guys? I have my new and improved Mastermind deck profile for the BT9 format. Of course, I'm starting off with my babies. I'm running Nyaromon, and the only reason I'm running Nyaromon is because I really haven't figured out what's better. Most people run Demi-Marimon. You know, if you get deleted, it will draw and trash one. However, first off, I don't run many rookies, and you're gonna see that in a second. And when I do get them, I actually don't like crashing them if I don't have to, and we'll talk about that. Here are all my rookies, literally all 4 of them. This is for a mulligan build. If I had a no mulligan build, I would actually have 2 more rookies. But for my mulligan build, I'm running just the 4. I don't like seeing rookies. If I can mulligan, it can clog up my hand. If I can't mulligan, I need the extra draws. But why these 2 specifically and not Salamon? Because you might remember I did run Salamon. In this format, Gazimon and Psychemon are awesome. They're amazing cards, reducing play costs and cutting off memory effects outside of Tamers. This is great for the Alphamon matchup and anything that plays memory boost. And this is great for any deck that wants to slap down Dexmon or Bellstarmon or do you know, still to catch Stingmons because there's still Imperialmon players running around. Next up, we have our level 4s, and this is what I actually call the Cat Brigade because, well, they're all cats. Gatomon's a mandatory 4 of. Enough said, though now it's easier to play Gatomon than ever, and we're going to talk about that later. The new card, Meikumon, from BT9, has a security effect. When it is checked in security, after battle, it plays itself for free. That might seem small, but remember Mastermind can delete something every time you play a Digimon by a card effect, and that's a card effect. So you can delete a level 4 if this happens while Mastermind's on board. We have reasons now, and we'll talk about that more, while having another purple-yellow card in our hand can be good. Having a purple-yellow card that plays out of security is pretty good. And then Black Gatomon is just here to be our rusher. It costs 5. I mean, really, they all cost 5 to play. So you really don't want to slam down any of these guys for their full cost. And we don't have to anymore. Next up is level 5s. And there's been some changes to my level 5 lineup. Elephant of the room out the way first. So Crackmon Vicious Mode is the #1 new thing we have in this deck. This card changes a lot. And it's not really because of its effect, which is pretty good. On play or on Digivolve, you trash a card in your hand. And if it's a yellow card, you minus 3,000 one Digimon on the board. And if it's a purple card, then you delete a level 3 on the board. So if it's both, you get both effects. So it just adds a little bit more board control. That in tandem with something like Flame Hell Scythe, because of that 6,000 DP, means you can throw down a Flame Hell Scythe and then kill something for 9,000 DP. It is yellow and purple. My God, this is everything. The downside of this card is that it has a high Digivolution cost at 4. But we always used to have the trouble of trying to see both a yellow and a purple to get our Mastermind off. But now, Crackmon says, I can be whichever one you need. Yeah, it costs a little bit more to play, but I can be whichever one you need. Now, Crackmon has a high Digivolution cost, but that play cost is 6, just like Angelmon, which is pretty good. If we're gonna hard slam something and it still gets its effect, 6 is a good number. Like I said before, we don't really have to pay that anymore, but we'll talk more about that later. Of course, Lady Devimon was always the best ultimate we had. Great, the Digivolve into it for 1 using Gatomon, drawing cards, good stuff. So I bumped down Magna Angemon and actually bumped up Angelmon, and here's my reasoning. In the format that we're in, everybody wants to OTK us or rush us down. They don't want us to do our thing. Before now, slamming down a Magna Angemon for 1 recovery was a big deal. It felt like you were really prolonging the game. But when people are checking for 6 and sometimes 8 security in 1 swing, that 1 isn't really cutting it. What I find that does cut it is putting my opponent on a clock. Angelmon's Inheritable says as long as you have a purple Digimon on board, your Digimon gets security attack +1. And you guys know what Mastermind mega level Digimon look like. They're big, beefy Digimon. So we can just start swinging almost with reckless abandon because both Crackmon and and Meicoomon have fun inheritables that say, if this Digimon has 2 or more colors, on deletion, gain 2 memory. So we can now build megas that actually refund us memory when they're deleted. So I'm actually not afraid to lose an Ophanimon fall down mode, which I wasn't before because it has its own on deletion effect. But now I'm really not afraid to swing with my Mastermon. It's already 13,000. It's gonna clear any easy like level 6s. It's gonna have trouble with some of the new stuff, but if it dies, I at least get memory back. And checking 2 per swing when I survive, that puts the game on one heck of a clock. If they don't have their combo to OTK me, well, I'm probably just gonna win from there. Not to mention, the on-play effect of security attack -2 on just any Digimon on the board, that can really come in handy when people just want to slide out with these big guys. And let's say my security protects me once, but what do I do about it next turn? Sometimes these are level 7s or they have deletion protection. Well, they don't have security -2 protection. So I bumped it up and I don't regret it one bit. Of course, we have Lucemon Chaos Mode. He's still amazing. The only change that's really happened with him is I mainly use him to kill tamers now. Next up, we have our level 6s, and these are fairly obvious. You can guess what they are before I even put them out. It's 4 Mastermon and 2 Ophanimon fall down modes. Nothing new to say here, honestly. This card, Ophanimon fall down mode's kind of a flex spot. You can run all sorts of like tech megas in its place. It does cost 4, so it's a little awkward to run sometimes. But I've had games where I am playing the Magna Angemon loop game where I'm just playing him down, recovering, cheating him out and recovering. And I just need that one more recovery to make sure I survive in OTK. And Ophanimon fall down mode really helps me do that. I don't know what can I say about Mathmon other than this card's still amazing and I love playing it. If they're OTKing on this turn or trying to, and you have this on board, they're actually in a lot of danger because of the next card. It's our only 2 level 7s. Omnimon's Wart Defeat. This deck recovers a ton. It recovers so much, there's a very real chance this is sitting in security. And there's not a lot my opponent, or your opponent, our opponents, there's not a lot they can do about this. This guy, he's going to come out. Now, he's not going to delete anything on play, but if Mastermon's on board and his effect goes off, just like Meicoomon, Mastermon now says you can delete a level 7 or lower. And having this out in an early game is very similar to having like security attack +1 on a Mastermon. It swings pretty freely, and it just kind of puts the game on a clock. It puts you in a really strong position. I'm not saying you'll always win, but have a good shot. That's it for Digimon. Now we're into our Tamers. And I still love playing Tamers, and you'll see that here with my 4 Mako Mochizuki, 2 TK Takaishis, and 1 Kari Kamiya. Mako has quickly become the everything tamer in this deck. Sorry, Kari. But Mako, when you play it, will dig 3 cards deep into your deck. You pick out a yellow or a purple Digimon, and you trash the rest. That's huge. It's another big consistency card, and just being able to send the other cards to to trash is amazing. We have so many things we don't mind in trash. We have things we love to see in trash. We love seeing Lucemon in trash. We love seeing Magna Angemon in trash. It still gives us consistency, and I do like it for a cost of 3. Speaking of costs, when you play a yellow-purple Digimon while you have Mako on board, you suspend Mako and gain a memory. That's big, right? We have so many yellow and purple Digimon. We have Maycrackmon, we have Meicoomon, and the one that really makes a difference for is Gatomon. So Gatomon has a cost of 5. It has forever been Mastermon players' dilemma how to safely play a Gatomon. How to play it where I don't pass turn. How to play it where I pass turn but I'm choking them at 1. 5 is such an awkward number that you will rarely slap it down for its full cost and choke them at 1. Unless you have Mako Mochizuki. You know what else Mako really helps with? the option that I run 4 copies of, Flame Hell Scythe. So Flame Hell Scythe got so much better literally with these 2 cards. Well, really these 3 cards. Flame Hell Scythe, as you guys know, it hits something for 6,000 DP, and unless you play a 6,000 DP Digimon from your trash for free. It costs 6, which is a little low for what it does, but if you play a yellow-purple Digimon off of this effect, your Makos activate, and you can make this card cost 5, or you can make it cost 4. And in crazy situations, you can make it cost 3. We also have Chaos Degradation, which, I mean, it's just the Mastermind card. Everybody's scared of this card. It's a very potent form of removal. But in this metagame, we have something called Congo. And in black matchups, like Alphamon or Black War Greymon, if I'm an Alphamon player, and I know Flame Hell Scythe is not enough to delete me, because Alphamon is huge, so that's not enough to delete him. They're only worried about this card. Well, Congo acts as a pseudo ADP in that matchup, because Chaos Degradation cannot use its effect if nothing can be added to the security. So that gets turned off, and I swear, every time I've ever been Congoed, they swung for everything, and of course they checked a Chaos Degradation. So it's not as reliable as it used to be, but it's still a huge card for those times when they don't have it, because not every deck has a Congo, not every deck has red cards where they can play ADP. So Chaos Degradation is still a great card. We need to run it at 3 because we have to have dangerous security for those few times when they're vulnerable. We don't want people to be able to swing for free. Why do you think we recover so much? Alright guys, so that's it for my Mastermind deck profile for the BT9 format. I think this list is pretty decent for what Mastermind can do in this format. I don't think there is a crazy Mastermind list that's gonna like break the meta and win the whole thing. OTK is a very difficult style of deck for Mastermind to deal with, or really for any control deck to deal with. If all you can do is really do your very best when they have the nuts, and punish them when they don't. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think about my deck and what do you think about Mastermind as a whole, especially in this format. And let me know what you guys are playing in this format. I have other decks built too. This is not my only one. It's just my favorite, and so I had to start with it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Pass turn.